So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the fall semester. For those of you who are new, and I have not had the privilege of meeting yet, as James said, I'm Kristen Clark, and I have the privilege and honor of leading this district as the chancellor. But all of you are so important to this work that we do. We always say this, but where did the summer go? I honestly feel like the spring semester ended a week ago, and it's like, really? We're back here again already, right? But you know what? Our students are here, and they need us, and it's time to get to work. So this morning, I'd like to spend a few minutes outlining our focus for 23-24, reviewing our strategic plan, and providing a few updates. So this year, our focus is to celebrate, plan, develop our team, innovate, and listen to our students. We will continue to celebrate exemplary work. In May, we recognize these employees for their relentless pursuit of student success, and we'll continue this tradition. And I'd like these employees to please stand. Jeff, Alicia, Bethany, Jay, Jesse, Maria, Robin, and Cecilia. Please stand and be recognized by your peers. Awesome. Great work. And in spring, we will start the nomination process for the next year's Employees of the Year. So, as you go throughout this year, please be taking note of your colleagues who are going above and beyond. Take those notes and be prepared to nominate those fellow colleagues who are doing great work to support our students and each other. We will continue to plan. As part of our continuous improvement, we'll continue revising our plans and updating our manuals. We intended to complete our facilities master plans this year, but unfortunately, when we bid out for a contractor to help us with that, we got only one bid, and it was well beyond our budget. So we had to go back out, and we are in the process of finalizing that right now in the hopes of starting the facilities master planning for Coalinga this fall and Lemoore in the spring. So we will continue to develop our teams. Our employees are a valuable asset, and developing our human capital is paramount to our success. Therefore, we will continue to focus on professional development. Both colleges have comprehensive professional development plans, and the district will support those efforts with district-wide training opportunities. These district-wide initiatives are intended to augment the college's professional development while also leveraging our resources and ensuring consistency. This fall, we are launching Upskill 3.0, which is a year-long leadership program for classified staff, faculty, and administrators. Last year, we had 19 participants, and several of those participants have promoted up. Applications are open until August 25th, and information is on the portal and will also be in my newsletter that will be going out later today. Both colleges continue to do great work with Achieving the Dream. We've been part of that network for several years, which is a national network of community colleges who focus on student success and equity. Faculty will participate in culturally responsive pedagogy, training for the implementation of the new California virtual campus, and short-term pedagogy best practices. The District Equity Committee and Chancellor's Cabinet will take the second part of the intercultural development inventory and continue implementation of their plans for increasing their cultural competencies. And student conduct officers, Title IX officers, student development staff, residence hall staff, and others are participating in professional development series to help them perfect their craft. Most of all, we will listen to our students. Carla Topit Moya, Samantha Guillen, Khalib Tassi, Juan Tafoya, Pfeiffer Alves. Later this morning, you'll hear from these students. I encourage you to really listen to what they say about their culture, their experiences where they grew up, and what they value. If you really listen to them, you'll be touched. Brought tears to my eyes when I watch these. You'll be energized and ready as a person who motivates students like them, helps them believe in themselves, and gives them hope for a bright future. Listening to our students is part of our holistic case management. And if you're new to this district, or you need a refresher, here's a little information about the West Hills Holistic Case Management. First of all, what is it? It's a network of people that use tools to share relevant information to predict students' individual needs and to refer students to appropriate, timely resources so that students don't fall through the cracks. And why do we do this? Well, we want to remove barriers. We know that there are a lot of barriers for our students. Our systems are heavy and complex. We want to provide just-in-time supports, services to students when they need them. We have a lot of services, but we need to make sure we get them to students when they need them. And most importantly, to create a culture of care. So historically, we've relied on counselors and advisors to carry this burden alone. And although they do a tremendous job, they need our help. We need everyone involved to help expand the circle of care. So the West Hills Case Management Model involves all employees who create a safety net so that our students don't fall through the cracks. Every single one of us is responsible for helping students succeed. And with that, all employees in our district are success coaches. Every single person. It doesn't matter what department you work in, the district office, we are all success coaches. That's our mission. That's why we're here. And we do this at West Hills by democratizing the data. Well, what does that mean? It means that we've opened information to all employees with the intention of being able to provide that safety net for students. And so that we can share relevant information. When you think about today's world with analytics, if you've ever gotten in your car and all of a sudden your phone tells you how long it's going to take to get somewhere and you say, wait a minute, I didn't tell you I was going somewhere. Analytics are all around us, and our students are used to that kind of world. But in higher education, we've remained siloed. And we make students go from department to department, from office to office, and start their story all over again. We've got to stop that. We've got to figure out a way to share information in a way that we can help students. So when they get to the next building, we already know enough about them that we can start where the other person left off. But we have to use data for good. With access to data comes much responsibility. We must make sure that we are using data for good to help students and not to feed our biases. We must consistently check ourselves to make sure that that doesn't happen and check each other. So with the privilege of this access to data comes that responsibility. And we'll be revisiting our traffic signal and asking everyone to use it. You'll be hearing a lot about this. I think those at Lemoore have heard about it for quite some time. They're probably sick of me talking about this, but it's a way to help identify which holistic case management tools to use under certain circumstances. And of course, we will continue to innovate. The West Hills Community College District has a reputation for being innovative. We are small but mighty, and others often mimic our work. We are the only district in the state that received 3 awards for innovations from the California Community College Chancellor's Office. We implemented Reg 365, OER at scale, removed layers of remedial courses from the curriculum, and implemented co-requisites to accelerate students through their programs well before it was legislated. We are fearless, student-centered, and eager to do what it takes to ensure that our students feel cared for and that they have what they need to be successful. So in keeping with our innovation, we've been researching and analyzing what it would take to implement short-term course pathways. We started this work in spring and continued through the summer with meetings in June and July. We'll continue this work into the fall, and you'll hear a little bit more about that this morning. And of course, we stick with our strategic plan. We continue to implement our strategic plan with its 4 strategic priorities, which include access, communication, community engagement and partnerships, and student support and engagement. And with that, our 3 core commitments, which are fiscal sustainability, data-informed decision-making, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are the lenses with which we make our decisions. Our strategic plan ties directly into our accreditation. I'd like to congratulate and thank both colleges for completing the institutional self-evaluation reports, or so-called ICERs. The ICERs were sent to our accreditor, ACCJC, and the ACCJC has assigned accreditation teams for each colleges who will be reviewing those ICERs this fall. The teams will most likely send core inquiries to the colleges, which they will need to respond to. Then in spring, both colleges will have a focused site visit. The process will culminate with the commission making its decision on accreditation reaffirmation in June of 24. And of course, we have to ensure financial sustainability. As we know from experience, the state budget is unpredictable, and it's difficult to plan long-term since so much changes. The state's 23-24 enacted budget includes an estimated revenue shortfall of $31.5 billion, which is related to a downturn in the stock market. It also includes an 8.22 cost of living adjustment to the general fund and some of the categorical programs, although not all. The state is using one-time revenue to fund this COLA. And to give you an example of the unpredictability of our state budget, the enacted budget reduced the 22-23 deferred maintenance allocation by $500 million, which means that the deferred maintenance funds for our district were cut by 59.4%. And that's a reduction to last year's budget after we've already allocated and started spending it. So there's where we have problems with the state and our budget. And the district applied to receive an emergency conditions allowance, which is a temporary COVID relief exception. The ECA adjusts apportionment to the 2019-20 FTEs. So, for example, in 2019-20, we were at 5,852 FTEs district-wide. And even though we only earned 4,717 FTEs last year, we were funded at the previous level. However, this is our last year under those protections, and we won't be funded at that level going forward. The district's 24-25 FTEs funding will represent its new floor. So starting in 25-26, districts will be funded at their student-centered funding formula generated, or the floor, which is the 24-25 year. So the enrollment for the 24-25 year is very, very important. This will be problematic for us if we don't restore our enrollment. The good news is that we are recovering from the pandemic, but we still have a ways to go to get back to pre-pandemic enrollment levels. We are up 16% from last year at the same time, but we haven't hit our enrollment target of 5,000, nor have we met that enrollment target in the last several years. So, tied to our core commitment of fiscal sustainability, it's all hands on deck to increase enrollment, increase the number of FAFSA, that's the financial aid applications, and increase student success and achievement, which all impact our student-centered funding formula apportionment. I know that you are all working incredibly hard, and the difference over last year, we can tell. It's working. Keep doing that hard work. Keep working together. It's all hands on deck. So now a few updates. Now that we've talked about our focus for the year, our strategic priorities and commitments, let's talk a little bit about facilities. The Lemoore Visual Arts and Applied Science building, the bidding is in process for that building. We hope to have it wrapped up for the October board meeting with the start of construction in December this year. Bidding process is pretty complicated. And then the West Hills College Coalinga Student Housing Project. So last year we applied for a grant. There was a state bond basically that would allow colleges to build affordable student housing on their campuses. And we applied, but unfortunately the legislature did not fund that in the budget enactment this year. So we will be looking for other opportunities to hopefully expand the student housing over at Coalinga, which will give Coalinga capacity to grow on-campus enrollment. And last year we applied to participate in the Institutional Effectiveness Partnership Initiative. Gosh, I love all of these really long names. IEPI, which is a voluntary program offered through the California Community College's Chancellor's Office to help districts improve their operational effectiveness. Over the last several months, a district-wide team has worked with a partnership resource team to develop a plan to improve our student accounts payable and position controls, which is part of our employee tracking. We've received a grant to help us improve these processes, which will help the students' registration and billing process and make it easier for students and it'll make our district office more efficient in the tracking and reporting of human resources. This project will commence this fall, and I want to thank everybody who participated on that team. I know everybody has been extremely busy. I appreciate your time. We will continue to talk about our branding, college identities, and personas to differentiate our two colleges. Branding might include logo changes, college identity language, the language we use in social media and in commercials, and possibly a name change for Lemoore. And the colleges signed on to participate in the California Virtual Campuses Online Education Initiative, another one of those long ones. CVC OEI, that's why we use acronyms, but then nobody understands what we're saying. It's a collaborative effort among California community colleges. And what the participation means is that our online courses will be included in a statewide catalog that'll be available to students from outside our traditional service area. This could be an opportunity for us to grow enrollment. There are many details to implementing the CVC OEI, and the academic senates at both colleges are leading the instructional aspects, while the college administration and district enrollment directors committee are overseeing the enrollment process. Again, this cohort starts this fall. Got a lot going on fall. We are fortunate to work for an organization that believes in making a positive impact on our students and the communities that we serve. I encourage you to consider giving to the West Hills Community College Foundation. It's tax deductible, and the donation has the power to change lives and create a better future for our students and our community. There are personal rewards too, as it creates a sense of purpose, strengthens our bonds as employees, and cultivates a culture of compassion and generosity. Every contribution makes a difference in the life of a student, no matter the amount, and the easiest way to donate is through a monthly payroll deduction. And you can specify where you would like your contributions to go. It can go to scholarships, food pantries, mental health, or to a general unrestricted college fund that can be used for services and supports that increase student success and achievement. And there'll be more information in my newsletter about that today. Okay, fun part. Let's talk about some new faces and new positions. So in the spring and summer, there were 28 new hires and 10 changes in position. HR has been busy. So, our new faculty, as I call your name, please stand up because we'd like to meet you. Gabby Brixey, Anna Hidalgo, Deja Hines, all right, Patricia Johnson, Laquia Luisa, there she is, Jennifer Marta, Michael Miguel, and Richard Valenzuela. All right, big round of applause for our new faculty. Welcome. All right, and our new classified staff. Please stand. Pedro, Nicole, Zaira, Kimberly, Francisco, Drew, Kaylee, Manuel, Raphael, Nicholas, Janessa, Brady, Mallory, David, Eder, Alora, and Michaela. Please all stand if you're here. Congrats. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, and our new administrators, John, Gustavo, and Sarah, please stand. All right. And we have changes in assignments. So Diana, Jennifer, Miguel, Stephanie, stand up. Okay, Elmer, Chris, Nestor, Ashlyn, Candace, and Jan, please stand up. Love to see that we're promoting from within. And so welcome to our new Falcons, our new Golden Eagles, and our new Birds of a Feather. For those of you who don't know, that's what we call ourselves at the district office. We're the Birds of a Feather. So in line with our core commitment of diversity, equity, and inclusion, we will continue to focus on our cultural competency. Last year, the upskill cohort, the District Equity Committee, and the Chancellor's Cabinet took the Intercultural Development Inventory. The IDI is an assessment of intercultural competence with the intent to help institutions build this competence to achieve international and domestic diversity and inclusion goals and outcomes. Participants developed both personal and group plans for increasing their cultural competency, and participants will take a follow-up inventory this fall to assess their progress on developing those competencies. I'd like to expand the circle and provide opportunities for additional faculty and staff to take the IDI to develop their own plans. This work is an important part of creating an environment where students feel heard, seen, and supported. My walk-up song today, High Hopes by Panic at the Disco, is about chasing after the lofty dreams you've set for yourself, regardless of the obstacles that stand in your way. As Maya Angelou said, the nicest thing about hope is that you can give it to someone else, someone who needs it even more than you do. And you will find you have not given yours away at all. Please believe in our students. Tell them that you believe in them. Words matter. Encourage them, inspire them, support them. All of this is key to our relentless pursuit of student success. I thank you for your time today and your continued support, and let's have a fantastic fall. Thank you. So now I'm going to ask Carla and James to come up.